Comrades, I am Admiral Andre, and I come to you at the turning of the tide, hopefully anyway. We are in day 347, and the hour is 4:34, so we have 1 hour and 26 minutes left before this day runs out and Valentina has no more oxygen, no more life support. Our engineers and scientists have not had any rest for the last 3 days. And we have come up with a solution, we hope anyway. Jebediah has been training like crazy in the simulator here, but I think we might be able to pull it off. The Voskhod is of course a dangerous vehicle. Let's not mince words. Things can go wrong here. But I think maybe we can pull it off. It's already on the pad and Jeb is ready to go, but I want to show you the design before we actually take off. Okay, comrades, here we are. At the moment, of course, Jeb is already on the launch pad, so Bill, he's also been very busy, you know, as an engineer to try and figure out this problem, but he's going to sort of do the mock demonstration for us. Now, if we have a look, this is a totally rescaled booster. Of course, I think the Voskhod booster was actually the precursor to the Soyuz one, so because the Voskhod has a lot more weight to it than the Vostok, the booster of course is insufficient, and various simulations have proven that we can't even reach orbit with the Vostok R7. So I had to think about this. The side boosters have more fuel now. They have these FLT 200 fuel tanks added. The core stage has an FLT 400 added, and the upper stage has another FLT 400. So together I think we will be able to reach the desired orbit. Now if I just open up this thing here and make sure it's saved before I do, I'm not going to save this now. So this is the Voskhod. The only noticeable difference of course is the addition of the solid fueled backup retro booster on the top, and I put some cameras on here, but never fear, comrades, they are on individual action groups now, so we will not need to press backspace anymore. I learned my lesson. Yes, so that's of course the solid fueled retro booster that's added on top of the Voskhod. Now the reason for this was the Vostok was placed in real life in a lower orbit than the Voskhod, so it would naturally have its orbit decay within 10 days if the retro rocket failed, and the pilot would always have at least that amount of supply on board, so they had no real issue with returning. Then of course came Voskhod, and some of them actually had 3 crew in them. Can you believe it? The actual capsule is exactly the same, 2.3 meters in the real world. It's just a bit heavier because they had to add more equipment and all of that, but they threw out the ejection seats and all of that, and with the 3 crew version you couldn't even put on a flight suit, so if there was a loss of pressure they would all be dead, and no option for escape, not even ejection like the Vostok. So that was a dangerous design, let's be honest. Now for the Voskhod 2, I think was the one with Alexei Leonov, who did the spacewalk, which is now really what we're modeling here. And so there are just 2 passengers, and of course that allows them to put on their flight suits. Now how did I do this? I tried first to just put 2 of these lander cans next to each other and clip them until they met on this line here. Of course I would put it in the center, but that really created a weird shape here, a sort of a much wider shape than we have right now. So I thought, no, we have to keep this diameter exactly the same as the Vostok. So of course, unfortunately, the only way I could do it was to clip a Mark 1 pod, command pod, into this one, which is why I said originally I wasn't going to do this, because I don't like that. But we can argue. If we just have a look there, you can see it. It's upside down as well, and the reason for that is I don't want the 2 Kerbals clipping into each other. That's the one thing where I draw the line. So we can argue, of course, these walls on the inside don't exist and so on. They certainly would have, I think, enough space to put another Kerbal into this Mark 1 lander can. there is enough space. Let's be honest, if we have a look on the outside and we have one of those interior views, you can clearly see there is enough room for another chair. So this is just a way of accomplishing that. Now, of course, it has no action wheel, reaction wheels, or monopropellant, that Mark 1 command pod. It's just there for the seat. I could, of course, try and put an external command seat into that, but then the Kerbal will essentially be exposed to the elements. So that is the best solution I could come up with. Of course, if we look at the real Voskhod, it had the tube on the side, which was the airlock. This one, I tried this one as well. If I put a strut there and I sort of move it into it, we can sort of get away with this design and then possibly have it detach at the end. But the problem is the hatch is still obstructed, even though it is open in the middle. So there is no way to make this work in KSP, to have a sort of a thing over the door there. It just doesn't work. So again, we have to work with the Kerbal reality, essentially. I also tried a docking port. We can put this on here. Again, there is no way to exit there because the hatch is still counted as being obstructed. So sadly, that is as far as I can take this design. So we'll have a bit of creative license. The real Voskhod had this airlock because the interior space relied on air cooling for the machines, so they could not expose it to the vacuum of space safely. Of course, the one cosmonaut who remained inside the capsule would put on a flight suit in case of a accidental depressurization, but this is not what they wanted. So the airlock was necessary to keep the interior environment in a atmosphere, essentially. Now, of course, Werner von Kerman and Bill Kerman here have been trying to figure this thing out, so they are using liquid cooling inside here, so we can safely depressurize the capsule as a part of the spacewalk. Now, what I also did was the exterior RCS system has been upgraded, because now we're going to have to try and get a rendezvous. So this craft needs to be able to reverse and go forward and of course roll. There's just 2 roll thrusters on the side here, so this is not really a sort of a normal course for us. It's just in case we want to get the hatch closer to Valentina's pod. And what we're going to have to do, because now we have to remember Valentina did not go up there with a space suit designed for the vacuum of space or the environment of space. She has, of course, her normal flight suit in case there is an accidental depressurization, but that thing was never designed for a spacewalk. So what's going to have to happen now is Jeb is going to have to do a spacewalk away from the capsule, leaving it unmanned, which is bad, of course. We don't want that, but there's no choice right now. I'm not crushing 3 Kerbals into this. That's just not happening. But yes, so he's going to have to take a flight suit over to Valentina, and we pretend, of course, that he will open the hatch, and she has her flight suit for emergency depressurization. So for a moment we can open the door and throw the thing in and close it and repressurize. Then Jeb is going to spacewalk back to the Voskhod and get in, maintain a relative position to the Mercury, and then Valentina will do the same and walk over. So that's the plan anyway. I have not tried that. I have done simulated launches of this thing, so we know we can get into orbit and back. So if we happen to use up our monopropellant for the maneuvering, we still have the backup re-entry thruster there if we can't use this one. So that is at least a good thing. However, there is a danger with this craft, as I said. The problem is if we land in a hilly terrain and the thing starts rolling, someone is dead. It's unfortunately a fact, because the design anyway, this capsule has a tendency to roll because it is quite round. And what happens then is I can click here, of course now I can't do it, but then say for Jeb to EVA and then jump off the rolling thing. But I can't do the same for Valentina, because she will be sitting in the other pod inside, and because the thing is rolling around, I can't actually get inside there and click on the door to tell her to move to the seat in the lander can and then EVA. So I tried that, and Bill had a bit of a bad day with that, unfortunately, but that was just a simulation. So if that happens, we will lose Valentina. So there is a distinct element of danger in this mission, but so it was with the Voskhod as well. It was probably the most dangerous spacecraft ever put into orbit. So in any case, yes, we've got some cameras here. This is really for the spacewalk. If you look at the real thing again in Google Images, you will see they did have a camera up here and one on the inflatable airlock, but of course we don't have that. Then, is there anything else I need to mention? I don't think so. Oh yes, there is one more thing. Because we are much heavier than before, which again fits the theme, because Voskhod was heavier than Vostok, we are going to be landing at about 10 meters per second, which is too much. The heat shield will definitely blow up, and possibly even the pod if we land in the ocean. So then of course the heat shield is not enough to absorb the impact. So what I did first of all was I replaced the parachute with the Mark II radial, which I just put on top there underneath this jettisonable solid fuel booster. Of course I used the small rockets again. In real life there was just one rocket, but if we took if I find one of the small solid fuel thing, you can see it's way too big, so I just improvised. This is enough to return us from orbit. Then this thing detaches. Then that exposes the parachute, which will then deploy, but we will still hit at about 10 meters per second at sea level. So if we go higher up, we like in the mountains and so on, we will hit at a much faster speed because the air is thinner. So we have, like the Voskhod, retro rockets. I have 2 of them installed. They will fire, or I'll activate them 10 meters before we land, which is 1 second before we land. They will burn for 1.1 second at a thrust to weight of 1.76, so they won't totally nullify the movement, which is not what I want. I don't want this thing to start going back up, of course. But if we look, I think gravity on Kerbal is 9 meters per second, and then of course we're another 10, so I think this will bring us nicely to a stop, or at least a soft landing. So let's hope. I have not tested that. That's one problem. Okay, so Jeb is ready anyway, so let's get the suspenseful thing out and flying. Now of course I will again speed up that for convenience sake, but I'm not sure if we will be able to pull this thing off. Let's try anyway. Let me just exit here and then I will meet you on the launch pad. Oh, things are getting hectic here. Okay, comrades, here we are. Jebediah is ready. He has been waiting for a few minutes. We don't have too long. I want to try and meet up with her within an hour, otherwise I will consider it a failure. Or at least an hour and 26 minutes. If we can just have a look in here. It's a bit difficult now because of the fairing. We shouldn't take too long here. But the interior view, you can see there, he sits there and then Valentina will sit basically on the roof. I know this wouldn't work in real life because the impact would rip her out of her seat, but that at least means the Kerbals won't be clipped into each other, so we can still have a reasonable suspension of disbelief that we can actually fit 2 into this capsule. Okay, I think we are ready to go. So this is the thing, let's hope for the best. Let's bring her into position. This will take more from our time, of course. There is our target. Let's just forward this. Ooh, this is dangerous. We don't have too long. Okay, not as far as before. Okay, I'm going to, let's go back to normal time. We can actually do it here. You see we have less than an hour left now. The days are of course 6 hours long on Kerbal. So let's get this thing going. I'll speed it up. Cross your fingers, comrades. It's dangerous times. Okay, we have a separation now of 5 kilometers on the other side in 27 minutes, so this still meets our requirement. Okay, just cut that. That's 1.7. Let's leave it there. The problem here is that the craft is not quite balanced. So during this last stage, the engines actually had a bit of a trouble trying to balance it. I have not exactly had the time to perfect this thing. I think the other pod might not be perfectly offset there. Oh well, it adds to the thrill, I suppose. Now the actual ascent, we had a big problem there. It was almost a disaster because I am not redoing this launch. There's not enough time. And during separation of the boosters, one of them actually hit the side of the core stage and looks like one of the nose cones broke there. But luckily the core stage was not damaged. Ooh, that was a close call, comrades, too close. It's because the trajectory was a bit too shallow, so we were not in a thin enough atmosphere for the boosters to behave properly during separation. Anyway, we need this engine attached still because we're not quite in an orbit, and you can see we're all wonky there. 300 kilometers is too high. But we just need to get close. Then we can put a brake on it and just try and stabilize ourselves there. Now, I'm not saving, I'm not reverting, this is it. So really, I know as much as you at this point whether this thing will succeed. Okay, let's go around. Now, of course, we are passing the orbit of Valentina, so now we need to slow down essentially for her to catch up. We launched, what is this, too early? I think so. It's too early. Alright, here we're gonna get 1.7, which is really a fantastic outcome, to be honest. But now, during the maneuvering, even though I downrated the RCS, it's still gonna push us around a bit. So what do I need to do if I am... It's been a while since I did a docking, let's be honest. Before we get to, I'll say a minute, then I'm going to have to orient us correctly to do the reverse burn. Okay, we're 1 minute out. Ooh. Okay, switch to target view. I'm not going to do the docking view. I know this one more easily. Okay, turn us up, turn us up. Power, fuel, everything is still good. Alright, we just need to point to the retro of the target now. As quickly as you can, for goodness sake. Come on. 30 seconds. Oh, this is not going to be good. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Alright, put a brake on it, please. Stop us right there. Now, do a retro lock as much as you can and ignite those engines. Now I need to push these together without hitting Valentina. Alright, we're okay. 200 meters separation. Oh man, this is not what I bargained for. Let's see, can we do this without the booster stage now? No, let's keep the booster attached. This is of course very abnormal, but I think it's justified. Let's bleed off more speed just to bring our own orbit more in line. Alright, what is our projection? 0, 0. Okay, oh good grief, we're getting in too close. Put a lock on it. No, jettison the thing. Retro fire those RCS things. I hope this booster stage is not gonna hit her now. But we need to stop now. Oh crapper. Oh, there she goes, there she goes. Fire the retro engine. Go, 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 go. Cut it. Alright. We've burned the burn. I can of course reignite the retro engine, but I will pretend that it's a once-off thing. Now I just need to bring us closer. This is of course where the upgraded RCS system is very helpful. Let's move at about 1 meter per second. Turn off RCS. No, keep it on. So, yes, we can't use that for re-entry. We're going to have to use the emergency re-entry booster there. But I think we got this. Let's extend our antennas. Oh, man. That was so many things that could have gone wrong there. That booster could have hit her as well. But okay, our orbits are pretty matched now, so we will have a 0.5 kilometers intercept in 2 minutes, almost 3 minutes. Let's move this thing a bit closer. Of course, any movement I make causes it to go bananas because it doesn't have a reaction system. So for every move, there is an equal and opposite move. We don't have a target lock control here, so let's just lock that in and do a burn and see if we can get closer. 50 meters or so would be a good target for me. Because again, it must be remembered we've never done a spacewalk before, and now not only are we doing one, we are doing two and leaving the main craft unattended, which is not what we ever want. Oh, this is thrilling. This is totally why I'm doing this series. Okay, let's bring it a bit speed up, bring it closer. Yes, we've deviated a bit, so where is she now? Okay, put the thing closer there. Now it's again for every reaction there's an equal and opposite one. Or almost equal and opposite. So, okay, now turn this off and flip us. So we can... well, why did I do that? We have a reverse ability. Ooh, I have to say I'm really nervous here. What is the mission elapsed time? We have 19 minutes till our oxygen runs out. 18 minutes. Alright, bring it. Full stop. Now we can actually go a bit closer. We are so using up all of the monopropellant, but that's okay. We have another way of getting home. less than 20 meters. That sounds pretty decent. And we are stationary relative to the target. We are still moving slightly, of course. So, where's the door? It's on the correct place. Let's just roll slightly. Of course, any roll causes us to move because it's not a balanced roll. Okay, no, never mind that. Oh dear, we're deviating. It's all over. No. Okay, wait. What am I doing here? I'm trying to get the thing pointed to prograde again. I don't want it having movement while we're leaving the capsule. Oh no. No, this is too much of a movement. I'm totally losing it here. Okay, let's just get the thing pointed. You see, it's a problem because it's an offset mass. Okay, we're gonna have to stick with the 0.3 meters per second movement. We have to get this thing done now. Okay, leave the craft, Jeb. Are you ready? Depressurize. EVA, first time. Let go and use your jetpack. Again, we've not tested this. He's taking the suit over to her now. Well, if anybody could do this, it is Jeb. Even though he's looking directly into the sun, which is not a good thing. Oh, goodness gracious. High suspense in orbit. The whole world is glued to their radios and TVs. F. Okay, so the thing is spinning now out of control, but now he is opening the door, putting the thing in, and now he must let go. And she is now repressurizing her capsule there, we pretend. Anyway. Yes, go, 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 go. Oh, don't crash. Reverse, down. Okay, actually what's going to have to happen now is he is going to have to switch to the other seat because she can't get in now. So transfer to the other thing. This is the source. Here. Did he get into that one? Oh no, 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 no. Okay, try again. Transfer. It's kind of important there. Okay, he's in. Now, switch. She is spinning out of control here. Okay, she's now in her suit. She's doing the EVA and she's letting go. So, where is this thing? There. She seems happy even though it's her life on the line. Okay, well, the good thing is if we stay calm, there is no obstacle we cannot overcome. Nice and easy. It didn't even use the cameras. Don't know why I bothered. Board, and it's done. Yes. Oh. Okay, well, we have just enough oxygen for another orbit or two. Well, we put some extra on this thing. But if we look at the interior view now, there, you can see the Kerbals themselves are not clipping into each other. So, we, of course, imagine this is an empty capsule and there's not walls and things in there. Okay, now, what do we need to do? Where are we relative to the space center? Now, we've gone a bit too far, so we need to go around one more time and then hit the retro so that we get her home as quickly as possible. Because, of course, she has been through a great deal of stress and you can imagine that that is not good for her well-being. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get this exact because it's a solid-fueled retro booster. Okay, more or less there. So, doesn't matter, we have enough to do the flip here. Let's get to retrograde. This thing has so much trouble trying to keep stable. No, not retro, prograde, because the engine is firing from the front. Well, again, we imagine they are not familiar with this craft really still. Same for me, honestly. Okay, we are prograde and let's just get the thing ready. 3, 2, 1. Emergency stop! Not stop at least, but landing. Okay, we will make it home. 13 kilometers is of course still re-entry. Then ditch the thing now on the top. Okay, it is gone. It has done its great service for us here. And then let's just get us more or less to a retrograde so I can have the heat shield in the generally, look at that, generally right direction. It span all the way around. Spun all the way around, I should say. Okay, get rid of it. And now we wait. Now we wait. Where we land, I have no clue. We can actually see now. Okay, it's way past the space center, but it's an ocean landing. Let's hope those retro boosters will actually be enough. This thing can't take much of an impact. There's the space center. Okay, it's difficult to judge with a solid booster re-entry. We will have emergency crews waiting for them. Okay, retract the antennas. And there's no control. I've got no movement here at all. You can see it's moving. So we might as well turn the SAS off. It will still roll itself the right way around because of the center of mass. Electric charge, ablator, everything is good. Valentina is happy, Jeb is happy. They did their part. Now it's up to the hardware to do its part. So yes, what a wild day this has been. Now this is a nauseating thing because it keeps spinning and wobbling and going crazy. But let's have a look at the readout here. Okay, she is there. There's the capsule view, so there we can also see the retro rockets. Let's hope they don't burn up in the re-entry. That now is another thing that's occurring to me. But I hope the heat shield will deflect the heat around them. Okay, well, I'm gonna speed this part up, I think, because this is a wild ride. Okay, we are getting heat now. Or maybe not. Let's go with them. Let's re-enter with our brave Kerbonauts. Oh, Valentina, are you okay? Get me more readouts. What is our current position? Okay, we are falling. There's a nice nav ball. You can see how we are rolling around. Oh, are we gonna survive re-entry? Okay, I think we will survive re-entry. The heat shield has not failed us, but will those boosters survive? Retro rockets. I think we can actually see heat on this thing. Mesh wire, heat. Okay, we see the exterior and the heat shield heating up here. It should be within bounds. Oh, 35 kilometers up. Moving at 1.9 kilometers per second. Okay, those boosters still look white, so they don't get the heating, it looks like. Valentina, hold on. We're looking up into space. Vessel auto. Here's the radar altitude coming down. I would be terrified right about now. 26 kilometers, 1.2 kilometers per second. But the heat seems to be dissipating, yes. Okay, it's time to go out again. Oh, what the... Oh, it's the night. I was like, what? Is there a bug happening here? But yes, this is a night landing. Oh dear, I wanted to avoid that, but of course that was the limitation of our re-entry there. Okay, so I'm entirely dependent on the altitude here, readout, to know when I should trigger the retro rockets 10 meters before impact. There's Moho and Dress and Duna. Worlds we will visit one day. It's pitch black. I can see nothing. I can see the craft, of course, but the terrain is basically black, just pitch black, which it should be, I expect. But now, are we not getting the dynamic dimming thing here, or is it still active? I guess it is. It's too much light still, but the stars should be visible. Okay, it's 8 kilometers, 7. Let's wait till 6 before triggering this thing. Just turn this back on and off. No, it's fine. Okay, get the parachute out. Minmus. Where's the stars up in here? Okay, we are on our way. Oh well. I guess when the sunrise is totally gone, we'll see the stars. 2 kilometers before landing, so I'm gonna have to count this one down. Yes, let's get ready. I have no idea where we're landing, so we might lose somebody. Or is it ocean? No, it looks like landmass. Okay, so we are going at 100. I will count 9, and when we get to 10, it's time to fire. They look confident. Let's switch back. So okay, we are a bit slower at least than I was expecting. So this is better than I was hoping. About 8-9 meters. It's deviating a bit there, but still too fast for a safe landing in my book. So 30 seconds. Why are we not seeing the stars? But okay, that's mod issues now again. Yes, serious mod issues. Oh well, that's fine. We don't need to see the stars. We see some of the planets. 20 seconds. 17, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, -1. Ooh, beautiful. Just stunning. Oh my goodness, that worked out so much better than I feared, but the calculations were actually quite good there. Well, comrades, this has been a mission and a half. So let's get them back home. It's a water landing. And Valentina comes home to an absolute hero's welcome, and so does Jeb. So I think that's most deserved there. I hope you enjoyed this mission, comrades. This has been the most fun of them all so far, for me anyway. So now, well, where do we go from here? Of course, now we can start on the Gemini and all of that stuff, so I'll have a look at our space race timeline again. But that does it for this episode. Wow, okay, things worked out, and this is not predetermined at all. Let's be honest, things could have gone really bad for us here. But there we go. When it counted and when it mattered, everything worked relatively well. So see you in the next episode, comrades, and thank you for watching.